We're going to give him 4.5 seconds. Even you guys standing in the back waiting to get your food, we're going to give him 4.5 seconds, as loud as you want to, of how you feel about him being our coach for the next forever. And we'll start right now. 1, 2, 3, go. Kalani, that's the best intro that we can do right there. Let you know how much we all love you. So,
thank you, everybody. Thanks. Try not to get too emotional, but thank you for the that was longer than 4 seconds. And sorry John had to hear that part because I know that he wanted the same type of thing. But maybe next time we'll have us cheer for him too. But it's an honor for me to be here and to introduce some of the new coaches that we have on staff, but really to answer any questions that you guys may have. I like hanging out with you guys because we've said it before. Before I was the head football coach and before I played for the legend Lavelle Edwards, I've always been a BYU fan and I always bled blue. So I connect with you because I am one of you, but I'm also excited to be here because we get to talk about BYU football in February, which is my favorite thing to do anyways. And I know that we're excited about the other sports too, but we could take a few minutes to talk about our sport and talk about this wonderful stadium and the fans that cheer for us here. So I'm really excited. And we'll have a Q&A part as well. And I'll have these 3 young men or gentlemen be able to I say young because I'm older than all of them. So, but I'll have them come up and they'll just do a brief introduction on who they are, and then we'll be able to answer any questions that you guys have for myself or any of them 3. But maybe I'll just have them come in and say a few things, and then I'll brag about them. So let me have Lewis Walker. You come up here and say hi real quick.
Well, this is an amazing view right here, turnout of support, and I'm Lewis Walker, originally from California, moved here in high school, went to Judge Memorial High School right in Salt Lake City, and have always known about this place. A lot of great players that came through here that I've known through relationships. Curtis Brown was a good one here. A lot of other guys as well, but I'm very fortunate to be here. One, thank you, President Reese. Thank you, Coach Kalani. Just one for this opportunity and entrusting me just to come in and be able to help mentor these young men while continuing to grow myself and then diving into a place in the community that is strong in its faith. That's something that is important to me. While I'm not LDS, I am a Christian, and it is important to me. So to be surrounded by great men and mentors to continue to help me evolve in this life, in this profession, is something that is important to me. And just watching the games from afar, the support in that stadium is second to none. The community from all across the world, to be honest, in the Cougar Nation. And so I'm just very fortunate to be here and be a part of it. So again, thank you, President Reese, and thank all of you just for welcoming me into this BYU family. And so I'm very, very fortunate, very, very thankful, very grateful, and excited to be here.
So, just to go off of Lewis. And so you guys, I just wanted to hear a little bit from Lewis, but yeah, I'm old enough that I actually coached him, and I was a coordinator. He was a cornerback for me, and out of high school, I think was overlooked quite a bit. And just he had to go prove himself, and he actually went to Hawaii, the UH, and went and played there and started there. And something about that experience, he wanted to come back to the state, so he came back to Utah, and I'm glad that he had a forgiving heart, that he still wanted to come and play for me, you know. And even though we made a mistake, I think I've seen him, and we've stayed in touch throughout his whole coaching career, and I appreciate the man that he's done, the things that he's been able to accomplish, the things that he's done in the coaching profession. I mean, he was a great player for me, but the things that he's done, he's just gone out and bet on himself. And he's coached a lot of different places. He's coordinated himself as a coordinator, as a leader. And I think he's going to do a great job with the cornerback room. I know he will. And I've seen him. I can't believe I'm old enough to see him. Yeah, you got some gray hairs now. So it's like I'm old enough that I got a guy that played for me that has gray hairs. That's just so you know, I had no gray hairs until I got here. This is 10 years later. So welcome to BYU. Be a distinguished gentleman. So, but Lewis is a great person and a great disciple of Christ. His faith and everything that he's been able to handle himself, the decisions that he's made in his life, I'm really proud of him. And so to have this come full circle and have him be on the staff, it's amazing for me to have him here. So, and I think the more you guys will get to know him, the more you'll realize that he's a perfect fit for what we're trying to accomplish here on our football team, especially on the defensive side with the cornerbacks. Now, next I'm going to introduce Tyler Hughes. Well, Tyler, you want to come up and say hi real quick? And then I can brag about him afterwards, too.
Thank you, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here. This is such an incredible feeling to be here with each of you, and I feel so great now because Kalani just said that I'm a young man, and I haven't been called a young man in a long time, so I feeling better about myself already. I grew up in Salt Lake City, Utah, and my wife Lisa and I, we met at Snow College as students, and we have 4 kids. We've kind of moved all over the country, and I just want to give you a little bit of like a vision of like what a great wife and my kids have been in terms of supporting me and as a coach. Just in the last few years, we moved from Utah in 2020, kind of the late spring, and we moved out to the Boston area as coach for the New England Patriots. So kind of vision like flying all the way out there across the country. So we're there for 3 years. And then we moved, I took a job at the University of Washington, so then we went all the way to Seattle, all the way to the other coast. And then the next year, we were fortunate we had a pretty good team, but our head coach had left, and so we had kind of an opportunity to move again. And so we moved all the way back to New England. And then from New England, we moved down to the University of Alabama, and then now here. And so we've been like crisscrossing the map and every time zone in the United States. And so it's great to be home. All that being said, our family's super excited. We have 3 kids that have graduated from high school already, and they're all going to school here in the state of Utah at different schools. And then we have one son that's still at home. And again, we're just super excited to be back in the state with our family, and this is where our roots are planted, and we've been so fortunate to grow up in such a great place. As far as coaching, again, I've coached kind of all over the place. Coached anywhere between high school, junior college, Division II football, Division I, and the NFL, and I get asked all the time, what are the differences between those various levels? And I've always just believed, and I've found this really to be true throughout my career, that ultimately what matters most is to help the players, to support them, and to help them be better. And if you do that, whether you're coaching a guy in the NFL or at the high school level, like they'll listen and they'll take to your coaching. And so I'm a big believer in that in terms of, again, just giving our players the best chance to be successful, obviously on the field, but certainly off the field as well. And I love developing relationships with players and getting to know those guys in every way possible. And helping them grow again as an athlete and as a student and as a man. So I know this is a great place to be able to do that under coach's leadership. And I've watched from afar over the last several years, and I've just have been so impressed and so. I would say touched in terms of you watch that video and the way that the players love each other and the coaches love the players and that's just something I've longed to be a part of. So super excited to be here. Thank you for your love and support and for having me here. Looking forward to getting to know each of you and Coach, thank you so much for bringing me onto the staff.
Tyler's he's being too humble, but I'm going to brag about him. But he is an expert at quarterback and that position specifically. But he can coach any position on the team. He's been a coordinator. He's been a head coach, and I'm honored to have him working with our quarterback specifically. You got a really good one there to work with, and a lot of other ones to help bring along. And so he's done that in the NFL, and he's done that at a high level with Alabama, Washington, and you can think about the quarterbacks that played there and the places that he's been in the NFL. So he's one of the best people that I do know, and watching him and when he was at Snow College and the way that he would promote his young men, his players, to everyone. It's like we knew that if we got a player from him, that they would have the high character and the integrity that we need in this program. So it's nice to have him back here with us. And he's I called him a young man. You have gray hair too. That's awesome. So he was actually a teammate of Sione Poha back at East High School. And so a lot of connections that we have with everybody here. But finally, I'm going to introduce Demario Warren, who's our passing game coordinator and our safeties coach, and I'll let him talk to you, then I'll brag about him too.
How you guys doing? Yeah, I didn't realize how many people were in here until I stood up here. I see what he's talking about now. But first, I just want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I want to thank President Reese, Brian, and Coach Kalani for this amazing opportunity. My wife and I are from the Bay Area. We met in high school. Had a kid at 19, a little early, but started coaching in high school basketball right when that time happened. I injured my knee at a high school and fell in love with the game, or just fell in love with coaching because of my high school basketball coach. Just seeing how much you can impact young men, and then the way my college football coach helped me stay in college and get a college degree, going through all that as a young man. And so my wife, if you ever see her, let her know. I was coaching high school basketball, playing college football, working a job, and she was like, "Why are you coaching? Coaching doesn't pay very well." And so now, 19 years later, she kind of has to eat those words a little bit. But got my first job out of college at Southern Utah. Was there for 14 years. Had an amazing opportunity to go to Boise State. And when this opportunity came around, Kalani called my wife and I, and once I heard him recruit my wife, I knew this was a place I needed to be. But it's just a unique place. This college football and college sports in general has become so transactional, and you guys are doing it different here at BYU. This is a place that is not only competing and winning at a high level, but it's all doing it for the glory of God and raising man and making sure that this society is getting better as a whole. So I'm very fortunate and blessed to have an opportunity to be a part of this culture, be a part of this program, and hopefully do anything that we can do to push this thing forward. Thank you, guys.
All right. So if you ever hear me say Demo, that's who I'm talking about. Demario's too many syllables. Demos makes it easier. But Demo, I've known him for a good bulk of that time that he was at Southern Utah, and he had 6 years there as a head coach and did a great job there. And if you know that he was a D coordinator when Gennaro Guilford was his corner coach there. So it's nice to have someone that's mentored even a coach that was with us for the last 10 years. So I think we'll be fine in the defensive backfield with him and Lewis running the group there, and along with all the coaches that we have. And there's other assignments and responsibilities on the coaching staff that we're ironing out a little bit, and they'll be made official and probably be made known to the public in the next little bit. But I'm really honored, just happy to be able to coach such wonderful players that we have, but also to do it alongside amazing men and women that work in our staff. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. I just want to express my appreciation to everyone here at the Cougar Club. Thanks for everything that you do. It's not just the financial donations, although that does help a lot. I mean, you heard we're trying to take care of Demo and his wife, and they made some sacrifices. So let's make a lot of people eat their words. That you can do it right at BYU. But the most important thing is the compensation comes in different forms. Sometimes people look at it in terms of just money and salary, but there's a group of people that want to be here for the right reasons. We have people, whether they're staff or players, that will seek us out because of what we stand for. When others have said that our standard is too high, whether it's academics or a spiritual side, that we expect too much and have too many high expectations of young people, that will never change. That will always be a competitive advantage for us. And although it will be hard, I think it will teach discipline and allow these these young men to grow and get bigger and better, and physically, but also to get bigger, better with their spiritual side and also with the mental side. So as we start working on developing these young men and getting to the right position, I'm really proud of what we were able to accomplish last year, but it's not what we want. So we fell short, and that's my job as a head coach, is to make sure that we do better. So we have 12 opportunities that is guaranteed. We have 7 home games. Thank you, Brian Santiago, our athletic director. So I like those chances. 7 more times to stay at the Provo Marriott. See the plug there? I expect NIL deals now, John, so you can come through. But 7 opportunities to be at home and to be in the stadium named after a wonderful person, Lavelle Edwards. And I'm just thankful that I still have Patty around to help mentor me. And when all this stuff that was going on in the past, not long ago, about another place coming after me, Patty was right there in my office, sitting down. I was like, all right, this is going to be difficult, but yeah, it was actually not that hard. This is where I want to be. I want to thank President Reese and Brian Santiago for wanting to do it the right way, but not just do it and not build a championship program, but to do it the right way, and to make sure that we elevate and that we, like President Oak said, that we exalt our family and exalt the program, and so that we find ways to make things better. So as we work towards this next season, we're committed to being more disciplined, trying to find ways to get better. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to be perfect, but we're going to try, and we're going to try to find ways to get better in a lot of different ways, whether it's sports science or resources or connections or mentoring. We're going to do everything we can to make sure that we're playing our best for 12 opportunities to earn some more. So that's the goal. But for me to be up here in this position, I just have to express my gratitude and love for everybody and all that you guys are about. BYU Athletics has been amazing. And so I think it's important that you all understand how much I love and appreciate all of you. And, my goal is to hug every BYU fan. I'm in 10 years, I'm close, but we still got a lot of work to do. You know what I mean? And, but just thank you so much. And now I'd like to open it up for questions, if we're good with that, for myself and any of the 3 gentlemen that came up here and spoke. You guys want to come up here? And I would suggest ask them questions. You already know my answer. It's going to be easy. So, let's start with questions. Yes, right here.
How do we see the defensive scheme changing and the defensive approach with the change in coaching?
Is that for me or for Demo or Lewis?
A little of both.
All right. I mean, listen, I'm the head coach, so there's a lot of things that we did defensively that were very similar to what happened before Jay got here. So the goal is to get the defense doing a lot of things right. And I think what I'm hearing from K-Pop and from these 2 coaches is that on the defensive side is that we want to get better with the technique and the fundamentals. There's a lot of scheme that can help you win, but we've got to go back to the simple things first. It's just like the gospel. We got to go back to the simple stuff. And I think sometimes we can get caught up in scheme being the champion of it all, but the true champion is found in the fundamentals, and that's going to be what these guys are really good at. They also know scheme. I mean, there's going to be an influence of the defense from what K-Pop has. I mean, you see it with what we were able to do with my background. So there's a little bit of Bronco in there with Rocky Long, and there's a little bit of Kyle Whittingham, Gary Anderson, myself. There's a little bit of Dave Aranda that's worked with Gary. There's a little bit of Ed Lamb. There's a lot of that stuff that's going to be mixed together. We just got to find the best position for our players to play at their best, and it usually comes down to the fundamentals. Anything you want to add, Demo or Lewis?
No, I mean, they played really good defense here, so we want to make sure we got a really good foundation, get good at the fundamentals.
Come here.
Sorry. They played good defense here for a while now, so we just want to make sure that we're good at the fundamentals and the techniques, and then once we get a good foundation in spring ball, then maybe add on to however K-Pop sees it. But at the end of the day, like Coach Kalani said, let's make sure that we're good at the things that we've done well, and then see what adjusts and helps us be better.
Dad Lewis?
Yeah, and these guys said it. You go back, and that's how you win football games, right? Fundamentals and techniques, and being able to execute those things at a high level, being able to get everybody to be on the same page. We can all be one accord, and everything will continue to move forward and continue to elevate from what this program has had in the past as well.
Yes.
So for the new coaches, you've been around and coached a lot of places. What have you noticed that's different and unique at BYU in your short time here so far?
Who wants to attack it? You guys. The question was, what have you learned so far being here at BYU?
It's been pretty short, just 'cause we've been on the road recruiting a little bit. The prayer before every meeting, something that's a little new compared to the other schools that I've been at. Facial hair, like those things, like some of those things are probably the most unique. But honestly, when you come into the building and seeing everybody wanting to learn and grow and kind of be separated but also together, like the offense, the defense, the recruiting, everybody's kind of working together in their own way, but they all make you feel like you're important to the whole piece of this thing, and you're a piece of the puzzle that's important. And so, I mean, John helped me out with the housing, and just everybody, no matter who it is, like they're willing to help and bend over backwards to make you feel comfortable and be a part of the family.
Yeah, the last few years I've worked in a number of different places, and it seems like, everywhere I've been and talking to other coaches, everyone's going, say, this direction, and I feel here it's in a really positive way. It goes a different way, and what I mean by that is, and Demario kind of touched on it, like there's a certain level of support and like care and like thoughtfulness that's demonstrated like everywhere you go. And you walk into the building the first time and I'm starting to meet new folks and get to know like what they do, within the world of football in our building, and just like the support and like the helpfulness and I would say like really positive energy too. And there's just a different vibe there. And again, I've worked in some really good places and I've worked with some great people, and I'm super thankful for that. But again, there's just like an enhanced feel that I've had in the short time that I've been here in that regard. And so that's been really cool, again, to be a part of. And then I just want to kind of piggyback a little bit on the fundamentals that we were just talking about just a minute ago too. I think just my experience so far, just there's a real value placed on that, and that is a little different. And just in terms of a football perspective, a lot of times coaches get really like deep in the weeds and like the scheme and the playbook and all those things. What matters the most is if your guys know how to play the game the correct way. And just like being here, just in the short time I've been here, that's been a consistent emphasis, in every meeting that I've had. And so I love that because I really believe in that and how important that is. And so I would think that is different than other places that I've been in the past. Just again, that continual focus. It's easy to talk about it. It's harder to like stay with that, every step of the way. So that's been pretty cool for me, again, from a football perspective.
Go here then. Yeah.
Your mentor, Lavelle Edwards, seemed to have a really good relationship with whoever was coaching the University of Utah. Jim Fossil, Ron McLeod, they did charity events with Cloud and banter together and have a good time. And that seemed to change when Urban Meyer took over. They refused to say the name of our school, came down south, and it seemed like the vitriol level really raised, and it honestly didn't improve much with Kyle Whittingham. I've noticed that Morgan Scally has gone back to saying the name of our school and given us some respect. I would like to know what your opinion or outlook on the relationship, but the coaching back and forth relationship between our coaches, their coaches, and respect back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for that question. The Morgan Scalley's going to do a great job with the rivalry, and he's going to be extremely competitive. But I love that man. He's a good friend of mine, and so I guarantee you he's a better golfer than me. So I don't know how many golf tournaments I'm going to beat him in, but maybe we should change it to arm wrestling or something else that could favor me. Pop-Tart eating contest, something that we both can do really good at. But yeah,
Leg wrestling.
yeah. But I mean, Morgan, you guys need to know a little bit more about him. He does believe in the same way that we believe. He's a member of the church, and he wants to promote the gospel of Jesus Christ, and he wants to promote goodness and kindness and everything. I think he and I are really good friends. We worked together at Utah for so many years, and so I think I'm happy that he's the head coach. We're gonna have a lot of fun together, but we want to win, and he wants to win. We want to win, it's going to be a great competition. But I think it will be able to look at, and I'm just going to ask all the fans that, just handle him differently because he's different, but he's also a lot like us, and so I would just say that when you get to know him and you get to know him on a personal level, I think things will be a little bit different. Maybe we'll go back to the Lavelle McBride days, and that would be kind of fun, So, but yeah, good person, and and a great friend of mine. So I'm glad he's a head coach there. Yes.
You had some other positions that you got announced. Who are they? The other ones, and did you make the official what their callings are? I mean, you sort of mentioned it a little bit.
You would ask me that. The question was, what are all the responsibilities? So Tyler's going to be working with the quarterbacks specifically. Demo is going to be working as our pass game coordinator and working with the safety specifically. And then Lewis is going to be working with our cornerbacks. We have other positions that we're trying to finalize. We had a lot of analysts that were assigned certain position groups and things like that. But those are all guys that are returning. These are basically the new bodies that are up here. That's why I brought them here. The others have been reassigned, but they've been at BYU for a number of years. So, yeah. Your question right here, and then he was first. Sorry, I didn't create the rules. I just follow them.
Lost the defense coordinator to Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
You were able to retain the bulk of the defensive important pieces of our defense. Can you talk a little bit about how that happened and what keys to that work?
The question was on how we were able to retain the players this year through the portal, even with losing Jay Hill and General Guilford. I think the easiest thing is that there's a lot of variables that go into it. I first have to give credit to the players on the team, the great leadership that we have on the team, and the connection that they have with each other. It's a very close friendship. I mean, they're brothers. It's our brotherhood. So I think them having the autonomy to feel like this is their program, and to feel the connection. I mean, we share our love for each other often. You know what I mean? And that's why we're able to come back from a lot of games by multiple scores and find ways to win. I don't like that. I'd rather just have a comfortable win, but that's what we need to do, and that's what I need to do as a coach is get them in that position. But I would start there with the connection that they had to each other, the love that they have for each other, and a lot of that has to do with the leaders that we've had on this team, the senior leadership that will pass it on to the guys that are up and coming. And then you look at all the different variables that go into it, the connection that they have with our administration, connection that they have with our faculty and staff. Just everything on campus has been awesome with the other students, with the Rock, and then the connection with the fans is there's nothing like it, And so when you put all these factors together, it's hard to say no to. Trust me, I know. You know what I mean? So, so when you put all that stuff together, it's I mentioned that compensation comes in different forms. Like, what's the value what price tag do you put on that? That you have fans that are loyal and that love you, not just for what you do on the football field, but how you live your life, and they embrace everybody. So you want to be a part of something bigger than yourself, and this is it. So in college football, this is a great destination. Then you have people that are not of our faith that seek us out, whether they're coaches or staff members or even players and recruits, and they're seeing us for what we do well and the things that we stand for, and they're starting to realize it. And even those that have left, I hope you guys still follow and support Jake Retzloff, because he's been a great advocate for us, and he mentioned that when he came here, he actually became closer to God and better in his own religion, and gives a lot of thanks and appreciation to this place. And so it's the whole group. It's all of you, and it's the entire connection. So that's the reason why. I don't know if it's one thing, but that's what it is. Yes, you. That's been waiting so patiently. Yeah. He said that I've done an amazing job up here. He said, he noticed that I'm wearing pants, and I told him, because it's really important, I'm going to put some jeans on, but the truth is, my shorts are all dirty. So, what else did you want to say about my looks? I look really good too. Yeah, go ahead. Retired judge trying to do something illegal right now, guys. So, Your Honor, thank you. I love you. You should go. We should get our own version of like Judge Judy. And put you out there and just like go to town on it. Because it sounds like you're not really retired yet. Yeah? Love you, brother. Thank you. Was that your question? What was it? Was that it? Yes, I am. I am losing some weight. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
I'm wondering about the recruiting efforts and how that's going, especially coming off a really strong season and having a reported higher NIL budget. Maybe you can talk about those impacts on that, on recruiting.
Yeah, talking about questions was about NIL, budget, and all those things. We're never the highest bidder, just so you guys know when we're talking about NIL. That's not the reason why people come here, especially with the players and recruiting. They come here because we show them what makes this place special, and it's not for everybody. And so when you're looking at it from that point, I wish people would stop giving it credit that these guys are coming for money. They're not coming for money. They're coming for the experience. And when you talk to them, that's not the thing. That's not the thing that they talk about. So it's going to be hard for me to coach guys that are transactional, that want to show up for hire. I want guys that want to be here and we just happen to be able to compensate them for what they do because of the rules allow us to do that. But I want them to make good decisions and make that money last their entire careers, and maybe they can look at doing something. I mean, you look at our parking lot; they're not full of the cars that you would find from other places. I like to think that these guys are making good decisions. So the recruiting, I don't know if we're ever going to be in the recruiting rankings, because the rankings change all of a sudden. A 5-star for us becomes a 4-star now because maybe he going on a mission. I have no idea, but I'm just telling you that those I don't really care about the rankings. The rankings just show that we're doing some good things. But if you want to look at it, I'm looking at 5-star character and integrity. That's what I want, And so I want, thank you. I mean, you look at I think Indiana. I'm kind of mad at them because they did it the right way. But you look at, they don't have a bunch of 5-stars, and they just go off of team culture, and they've been saying a lot of the same things that we say, and they want a national championship from it. So I think we're close to what we want to accomplish, but we're going to be better because we're doing it our way, and not just doing it like everybody else. And so that's going to be the key for us, is just elevating them and letting them realize that there's much more to the world than money, although you can be taken care of and things like that. But I think the guys are living that way, and they're showing it. It's also why the transformation in the locker room, it's not transactional, it's transformation. They're actually growing and doing things better together. So I'd encourage everybody. What we're always trying to get better is also in service. And so these guys, the more they can think of others and help others and with their platform, the better. And I think a lot of people don't want to bother us with things that we can do, but I'm just telling you, the players are committed to serving and helping the community. So if there's anything that we can do as a football team and a program to help make the world a better place and bring smiles to people, let us know. I have a team full of people and an awesome staff that's committed to doing that, and that's why they're here, and that's why they stay. Oh gosh, I don't know who's back there, right? You were next? Yes. Oh, you want a pregame speech? I thought I was doing that already, right? I asked you guys to make us go serve more. No, yeah, the dancing's for celebration. But I don't know if there's anything that I say that gets them going. the truth is, a lot of them just need to be reminded. I tell the recruits and I tell the players this all the time, that my job is to remind them all the sacrifices that got them here and what they're playing for. And I think a lot of young men think it's them that got there, but there's a lot of sacrifices, prayers, and energy that went into them being in this position, no matter where they're at, whether they're a starter or a backup or on scout team. And for them to find ways to make sure that all those that sacrifice them are going to be happy. And the fact that I was born 50 years ago on an island in the South Pacific, and now I get to be in this position and be the head coach, there's a lot of people along that way, and we all have the same story that gave up a lot for us to be here. So all they ask us to do is stay on the path to success. It usually means a great connection to God, being humble, and finding other ways to help fellowship and take care of others. Yes, I'll go here then. Yep.
Yeah, this question is for the new coaches.
Thank you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Have you thought of some ways that you'll make Jesus Christ a focus in your coaching of these young men?
You might have to repeat the question.
Can you repeat the question so I can repeat it better?
Sure. Have you thought of some ways in your short time here that you'll make Jesus Christ a focus as you coach these young men?
Yeah, have you found a way that you're going to make Jesus Christ a focus on how you coach these young men? I think I've been doing that my whole career. I didn't start with a prayer, but we usually start with a scripture in the team meeting, just something that ties along with what we're going through in the position group, whether it be discipline, whether it be resiliency, something that goes along with the scripture and help these young men not only correlate it to football, but correlate it to life. And I think that's something that's big. And then bringing them to my home so they can see me and my family interact and see what it's like to have a family that follows Christ. So I think those have been something I've done for a long time. So I'll just try to continue to do that. And with the help of so many men that have been here for so long, I'll probably find new ways to continue to grow and be better at that.
I just wanted to mention one thing with that. I think that's a great question. My dad was a military guy, military man. He was in the military for 30 years, and once he retired from that, he worked at the Pentagon as a civilian for 10 years, and so leadership was always such a big deal to him. And so, when I would talk to him about that, we would talk about different ways to lead and mentor people, and he had stumbled across this book, years ago, and he had sent it to me, and that was one way that he always connected with me, is he would send me a book on something, and this one was titled like The Leadership Lessons of Jesus Christ, and it was really cool, and it was like a small book, like 50 kind of little quick lessons, and would touch on the way that he communicated with people, the way that he served people, the way that he organized, the way that he just set the example, and so when I think about coaching and leadership, I always just think about that, like use the absolute best example that we have, which is Jesus Christ, and utilize what we've learned from him and implement that. And so whichever way we can do that, whether that's a direct lesson that we could share with our guys, or just the example and the way that he taught and led and lived his life, just doing it that way, I think that also too is a great way to implement his teachings in our coaching.
Who else was next?
She wanted me to go. Thank you. I wasn't going to get dismissed on that one. I support already.
He's the youngest one of us all.
I'm much like Coach Demario. At the previous stop that I was at, every single day we would come together as a defensive unit or secondary unit, and there was a scripture of the day up there. And like he said, it went along kind of with the theme of what things were going through, whether it might not have been football, but it might have been something with one of the other guys in the room going through something hard, but to be able to corral the support around them, to be able to bring that up and then have a discussion about it, because every person is going to have their own thought and their own opinion on kind of what the verse was about. And so to see what one person thought about it, to see what the other person thought about it and collab, and just let them know that no one's wrong in what you think and what you believed in that. The other thing that I would say is, like, it's already rooted in the foundation of this place. And so, like, just to keep carrying that along, and how can you just bring that to the forefront and just keep reminding these guys that there is something bigger than yourself that we're all working to try to achieve as one common goal as well.
You've had opportunities in public to address the groundswell of support that blew up when a certain school in Pennsylvania was pursuing you.
Yeah.
Can you share with this group specifically your reaction to that love bomb?
Yeah, the question is about the love bomb and going through the situation. I mean, you always, it just goes to show that you always, I think sometimes you know that you're loved, but it's always great to hear it, you know. And so I think sometimes maybe I could take that for granted sometimes, you know. And I'm lucky that I was raised by a father who says I love you a lot, and I've had people tell me that I probably say it way too many times. Like, how do you love that person? You don't know. It's like that person came up, gave me a hug. I love him. You know, that's just. I think that's been the thing. Is like, but to hear it and have it come to be directed at you specifically was important. But also to feel it from everybody in the administration. You know, to feel it from President Reese and to feel it from Brian Santiago, to feel it from Chad Lewis and others that are there, and then to have Patty. You know. I think they all orchestrated this together, but I think it just happened that way where Patty was there and just kind of just remind you why this is so important and why this is different, and so that was a lot of fun. I'm just glad I never have to do that again, but I also promise that I'll never take it for granted ever again, and that I apologize for putting a lot of people through the stress of it all, but I think we're safe now. We're okay, and I think the buyout's big enough. Nobody should ever come through anymore. So. Yeah, we'll go here and then there.
First thing I was going to say to Coach Kalani, I had a friend, Filippo Mokafisi, said you were the his favorite coach he's ever played for. So that was like 10, 15 years ago. So it's been cool to.
He said that I have a lot of favorite players out there that love me. So, but no, okay, go ahead.
Even back in the Utah days. Other question was for Coach Hughes.
Yep.
What would you say sticks out the most about Bear Bachmeier, like on film, and then what is one thing you want to like fine tune with him?
Yeah, the question was what stands out about Bear. You know, I think the first thing is he's a great competitor. You know, I mean, you watch him on film, and whether it's you know, where he pulls the ball down to run, whether he's in the pocket and trying to buy time for a receiver to uncover down the field, and he'll take some shots in the pocket to get that ball down the field, and that's what a great competitive quarterback does. And you want to see that from your quarterback, that he's willing to take those hits and continue to push the ball, see his reads, not get worried about the rush, but see his reads and continue to compete that way. The other thing about Bear that I think is really exceptional is he's incredibly accurate. You know, when I watch him on film and I just see where he can place the ball, and this actually just the other day this happened. You know, they were running some routes and the tight end was running a seam route. And I just said, I just want you to throw that out, and I just want you to put it right on his face. So if he had a face mask, you'd put that ball and you hit him right in the face mask with it. And he goes, okay. And receivers or tight ends 20, 25 yards down the field, and sure it was right there, right on his nose. It was a tremendous throw. And so that just kind of speaks a little bit to his accuracy and where he can place the ball, which is a really, really great skill. You know, and you want to always work with guys' footwork and their timing, and that enhances their accuracy. And that's a big part of it. But the really special quarterbacks just understand the timing and the space, and they just have that kind of awareness. They just understand how to where to locate the ball and how to do that with timing and precision. So he's very, very good that way. You know, I think for me, I'm just getting to know him. I know that he wants to continue to get better and better all the time, and so one of the things I like to do with all players, and I'm certainly do this with Bear, is just sit down and say, what are your goals and what are your objectives, and what do you want to work on here too? And then as I see things on film and we can kind of work together to put together a strong development plan for him. Again, he's already done some really good things, but I'm a strong believer you can get better and better, and I know he feels the same way. So looking forward to working with him. I know he's going to be a great player for us this season and beyond, and again, that great competitiveness will help him do so.
Okay, we got one more question. I think there's someone. Okay, never mind.
So, I know a lot has been said about Jay Hill leaving and there's, I don't think nearly enough has been said publicly about Gary Anderson and the effect that he had on the defense. I think one of the best recruiting pieces that you've done for the defense is to be able to keep him. So for all of us, would you just thank Gary? He doesn't come here and isn't a public person, but we're so grateful.
Thank you.
that Gary
The
stayed.
statement was about Gary Anderson and having him here with us. It's been nice to see Gary and to him engaged in prayer and see him come closer to our Heavenly Father and see the impact that it has on him and his family. The Spirit can do so many wonderful things, and so I think we benefit from having him there as a former head coach and a coordinator and a brilliant mind. But there's a lot of really cool things about him that I appreciate. Thank you for saying that. And the defensive group it's all collaboration, everyone working together, and I love Jay Hill, and I wish him the best of luck. I wish Janelle Guilford a lot of luck, and wish him nothing but the best. I thank them and everyone that's been here. That's once a Cougar, always a Cougar, and I hope you guys can join me in expressing your appreciation for all of them. So I want what's great for them, and hopefully we can see each other on the field sometime. We'll see. But the truth is, we wouldn't be in a great position if it weren't for a lot of hard work from a lot of people, and many of them don't care for the spotlight. And the unfortunate part is that the spotlight comes this way, and this place is way more than one person. It's more than one player, and it's definitely more than one coach. But the group altogether does something super special, and the more we can recognize all the people that contribute, our recruiting staff and everybody that doesn't really get their name mentioned, I think the better that we can grow as a program and grow as a university. And so we're in a really good spot. And I'll just end by saying thank you for everyone for all that you do and your prayers and your energy and your efforts and all the resources that you allow us. But it's actually you as a person that matters more than anything else, even more than your contributions. But it's like you connecting to us and being that warm face and the warm support that you give our program, our players, and our staff. And so thank you so much for that. And I'll just end by saying one of the people that never gets a lot of credit but does so much, and I've seen him work so hard for BYU altogether, is Chad Lewis. And I just want to express my appreciation to Chad. So he balances a lot of duties, and then you can't do that without mentioning his wife Michelle, who's amazing too. I was fortunate as a young freshman to be here at BYU, and I got to be around him and felt his love and his mentoring from the very beginning, which allowed me to go on a mission. And so I hope that you guys can have time to go thank all those that have been influential in your life. Chad, you've done that for me. I appreciate it, and you've done amazing things at Cougar Club. So love you guys. Go Cougs. Appreciate it.